GM, wake up, let's go. Web 2, Web 3, stay in the know. Action, Dabatola, Toki in the zone. Breaking down the latest, straight to your phone. From Web 2 shifts to Web the waves. News, deep dive, hot takes for days. Tech's evolving, the world's in spin. Markets move, let's lock it in. Genzio's here, no time to snooze. Tune in now, get the news. GM, wake up, let's go. Web 2, Web 3, stay in the know. GM, start the show. GM, wake up, let's go. Web 2, stay in the know. GM, start the show. GM, let's go. Web 2, stay in the know. GM, start the show.
GM, everyone. What's going on? And welcome to Thursday stream here. My man Toki, we got a lot to talk about today. The markets, they've been choppy, but there's some hope coming, I think. And what else we got? We got a special guest, so we're bringing somebody on. We're going to start doing this a little bit more frequent. And today, I got to say, Toki, about who's coming on over the last year, getting to know him. Awesome guy. And I'm stoked to have him on. It's not like, hey, we're having a project on. Not to downplay any of the projects or any people who are important that come on, but this is like a homie, someone we support in the space, and it's going to be fun. So what do you
someone we support in the space and in something else as well. I'll put it nicely. See if people can start guessing.
We'll give it a second to see if anyone wants to give a guess, but. How are you doing this morning? How are you feeling? I know there's always stuff going on. It's like crypto doesn't sleep. We barely sleep.
Oh my gosh, that is so true.
So how's your morning? How's things shaping up, man?
Actually, it's been a pretty good morning. We've done a few spaces already. Got to talk to Neuron World this morning, a project on Hedera. So absolutely phenomenal.
You want to know what's crazy about that space? Is I was on that space too, and it seems a lot longer than just a few hours like this morning. It seemed like that was like last night. That's how much just goes on in such a short span of time. Like a couple hours in crypto is like a full day. It kind of felt like
last night already. That was still this morning.
I guess it doesn't help that the studio here is dark, where I'm just like everything's blacked out and the lights, and it's 11 in the morning, but it's all right.
Who needs real sunlight when you can have a bluish Dabatola in the background?
Yeah, and these pricey LEDs that if I was to stream probably more than 2 or 3 hours a day, they would burn out of my my face.
Yeah, let's get you some sunscreen real quick. You're a little white, bro.
Man, that's like I'm not even. I'm like transparent. That's the problem. It's just like I'm beyond the shade of white. We'll see though. We got an upcoming trip to a warm climate that maybe, if I venture out from the conference halls and events at night, maybe there's a chance that I get a tan or burn. I don't know. We'll see. So that actually is going to be a pretty busy week coming up, a couple weeks out in Dubai, because there's at least 3 or 4 conferences, and I've already seen, I'm sure you have too. Have you just been getting emails every 15 or 20 minutes for the last 12 hours?
Yes.
Of pending event invitations?
Not only that,
There's like 30 on Wednesday alone.
I had to turn off notifications for my email because it was so much. Because not only is it like hey, there's a pending invitation. Now there's like hey, remember this event that you went to last year? Or remember this event that you went to at the last event that you went to? Well, we are doing another event and we're going to send you 5 reminders about that event. And then each one of those has a Luma link that matches all the other Luma links that are out there because we're all on the same list together.
Right.
But now someone else is going to also send you that same reminder to go through the gigantic list on Luma. And you're just like, bruh.
Well, hold on.
I think I received the same link to the same event
Wait.
from like 5 or 6 different companies because they're all co-sponsoring the same event. And I'm like,
I gotta
you
down here
please,
for a second. This is
take over.
This is definitely first world problems here, but I will say one positive thing about this. I swear, this is so great. Is that at least the majority of crypto has their stuff together, that they're all using Luma. I don't have to use like that and like 16 other platforms for events.
You're right.
So at least the majority is using one platform. And but eventually, Toki, you're going to get to that status where it's not going to matter. You're just going to walk right up and they're just going to be like, just come in, Toki. So
I'll have to keep the beard if they want to recognize me.
And then I'm just going to walk in right behind you. I'm going to hide under your beard and I'm just going to go right in to the event. And now I'm seeing off stage, not only do we have a special guest that we're about to bring up, but we also have
a different special.
Yeah, I guess it's a different special guest. It's not supposed to be here, or more like could be like a recurring pain in my butt. Wow, everyone, this is the market news. Now let's bring first of all, let's bring our guest up before we bring our comedian up, right? All right. Do you want to introduce him, or should I?
I thought you were literally about to.
No, I was going to see if you want to give a chance. If you know what, that's it. You're coming up here.
Hey,
Jay Chains, what's going on, my man? How are you doing?
If you guys don't recognize him, not only do we love supporting this guy on YouTube, on X, everywhere else inside the community, but he has been one of the fighters in the pit where I have thrown as many karate combat tokens as I literally had in my wallet at him. So, yeah, I will continue to do that, whether you're fighting in karate combat, CFN, wherever you go, bro. Man, I love to watch it.
Oh, yeah, we got your back regardless.
I appreciate that. I tell you what sucks today is I started getting tagged in some things because, unfortunately, as it turns out, like, shocker to no one, Firefest 2 has been postponed.
Wait, postponed past year? Wait, is it past year?
It's like, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was supposed to happen at the end of April, early May.
Original.
From the Caribbean, I think, to apply it. And then I think Isla Mujeres, which is a beautiful place.
Oh, yeah.
To go, Isla Mujeres to go, was where it's supposed to be. But news started circling last week that, no one was signed and the permits were like, you can have like basically not live performances, but you could have replay music like from like a DJ or from like an iPod or, like what I mean, like your computer. You couldn't even have live performers. And then all of a sudden I'm getting tagged in all these things that Firefest 2 has been canceled or postponed, at least, whatever. Anyway, but I appreciate you guys having me on. This should be fun today.
No, and you know what, back a year ago, I got to say, like, that's when I really started getting my hands and digging into the IFC for that time period. You are like awesome to work with in that regards. You were calling him out. You were doing you were all about it. You put in the work, and it was just so awesome to see that and just be a part of it. So like, I feel like that was like the beginning where I met and really got to know you more. Mm-hmm. And man, it's just going to be so great to see you.
All you guys, and like, I'll tell you what, like, and that's just part of my message. Like after the karate combat thing, because I like to say I went from fat to fit in the pit in just in 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like what it did for me is I had to dig down. I had to really challenge myself. And so like, yeah, I get it. An MMA match is really not for everybody. I know, Toki, you've done it. Dad, yeah. You do at some point. But you know what I mean? Like the whole idea of just challenging yourself, taking yourself outside of your comfort zone was really the most important battle out of all of that. And you guys know, like, win, lose, or draw, I didn't really care what happens to me inside the pit or the ring, because at the end of the day, I'm making myself more healthy, right? Yeah, I want to win. I want to pick up a win the next time. But you know what I mean? That all just stems back to really just challenge yourself and do something major.
I can't argue at all. Because of karate combat, not only have I maintained my weight loss, but I've continued to drop weight. I'm now under 200 pounds.
Whoa.
That's crazy to me. Like, I think it was like roughly like 240-ish when I was first asked about like
Wow.
doing karate combat, and I was like, all right, and you guys want me down at 205? Sure. I'm going to Asia for a while. Like, I'm already like trying to lose weight as it stands. But you really have to push yourself. You really have to leave your comfort zone completely. I mean, going to Muay Thai training multiple times a day destroyed my knees. Like, my will to live and get back to my hotel room was almost zero some days.
No, I think that you guys are owed so much respect, because besides the work that you're putting in to get ready for, a fight and train, you have still everything that goes on with your life, your family, your commitments to clients, to doing streams, to just everything. And then to take everything that you have sort of in your normal routine and say, all right, let me take, I'm just going to say probably about 6 hours a day, because, you got to get in the mindset, go train, you're showering multiple times a day, you're doing added things that you don't even think about, probably additional laundry because you're just sweating like through tons of gear.
Buying more Band-Aids because you're tearing your toes open.
And it costs money to do it too. Like, you're paying at gyms and paying for coaches, and so it takes a lot of commitment, and just to do it and go through with that is like, so much respect. I mean,
I need to go spend more time at the gym. Apparently our water bill has gone up since I've stopped training, because I would shower multiple times at the gym versus at home. But now I'm bringing up the water bill, I guess. I don't know.
Oh man,
I know how that one goes, man. It's like, well, I still like to shower a lot, but it's like,
Yeah.
maybe I need to still do the gym thing.
Tell you what, a cold shower in the morning. I know it's tough. A cold shower in the morning, and then a hot shower.
I'm just gonna add myself to this page.
Yeah, I was about to add you actually, but
ask you, what was this like? Because this is the highlight of everything for me.
This right here, I'll tell you what. This is one of the stories that I tell. I have driven cars very fast. Very fast. I have been on stage when the adrenaline is pumping. I've performed like rap songs on stage before, like nerves of steel kind of thing. There is no juice. I have never experienced any kind, and people told me about the adrenaline dump. Man, you feel like a freaking superhero. When that just started, up until the moment that I walked by, shook hands with like Shibtoshi and all the the KC guys, Boz and George and all those guys, like it was a moment, man. It is something I will never, ever, ever forget for the rest of my life, unless I get dementia and lose my mind. It is something I will remember forever.
I think if you start to get dementia, we'll just replay that specific event, and then you'll be like, "Nah, guys, I'm here. Who we fighting?"
Oh yeah, that guy looks familiar.
We'll just pull out Billy real quick. Hopefully, he'll be same age-ish as you at the time, and we'll just do a round 2. Or 4 by that time.
Odd or funny about the whole Billy situation is that I want to say like 6 months or so ago, he's like, there was all this chatter. He was really, really trying and hoping that there could be a KC at Firefest. And like, do you, I don't want to be that guy, but like, is that the most absurd thing like ever? Like if you were on, I mean, I can't speak for anybody from KC, but I would just imagine they'd be like, nah, guy, like there's like, it was just so crazy, just such a crazy thought. It's like, and now look at it. It's pushed to whenever, but
pushed it off.
You know,
postponed.
whatever. He's doing, I guess, what he does best, and well, not really does best because he did jail time, but we'll see what happens on this round. Maybe he just gets probation.
I mean, that's like saying we're not going to invest in anything Doquan actually puts together ever again, and yet there's plenty of people out there that do so.
Hey, if they let SBF out of jail, I'll say you use like the brilliant mind kind of theory here. They let SBF out of jail to create the token that is either the CBDC or what becomes the digital dollar.
No.
Do you support it or not?
Now, Diddy's going to make bail, and he's going to immediately get into crypto because SBF was giving him inside info when they were both sharing a cell, and yeah.
Rumor has it they were sharing more than a cell.
That goes on. What? They're sharing more than a cell?
Rumor has it they were sharing a little bit more than a cell.
Who interviews SBF all the time? You got to ask, what's her name?
Tiffany Plum?
Yeah, she might know, right?
I mean, and now that there's a connection to Elon there, so Tiffany and Elon's baby.
Did you see the headlines today? It was like one of the trending things on X about how she refused to have his baby. It's like, what? I thought that she was under NDA for all that. I mean,
wouldn't know.
No, nothing about that.
Nothing about that. I'm sure it's all fine. Everything's kosher. Or
so Action, you're joining us this morning. I thought you might have.
I had some other stuff. I just I bailed on other people, so I hang out with y'all.
You're like, I can't miss the morning stream, and no, you can't.
No.
Do you know what it was, Scott?
What?
We didn't tell him who the special guest was.
Yeah, until
we J Chains. I'm not kidding. He kept on asking us, and we're like, "Nah, show up if you want to know." And now here he is. Like, I guess he really actually wanted to know.
it's me, baby.
Well, so wow, I can't believe we just BS already. Like basically 20 minutes into the show. Let's talk a little bit about crypto and markets right now. It's been really, really choppy, but I'm pretty sure we could all agree that we're all long-term bullish, right? So we're seeing this not just next week or next month. We're looking end of year and years ahead. So for all those that might be a little bit more, let's say maybe they overexpose themselves to, where do you feel that we're at for, say, from now to the end of the summer before we get to the fall? Do you see this continuing to be choppy, or do you think we're going to get like, I don't know. I always see summer as lagging. We're going to get some pump and then kind of just mellow out the summer again. How do you guys feel?
It's really interesting how we're seeing all this thing take shape, right? Like when you look at, let's look at some of the charts, right? You look at the Bitcoin dominance chart. Like Bitcoin dominance is still like creeping up. I think it's gone like 64%, something like that. Which, man, it won't slow down, which is crazy. And then you're seeing, you know, the other chart that I look at, and so this is the gauge for altcoin season, right? Is the Bitcoin dominance, and then you look at the others chart, which is the entire market cap minus the top 10. So no Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, USDT, USD, stuff like that, right? It's just the true gauge of all the altcoins. And so if you look at those charts, and if you compare November, December timeframe, right, the Bitcoin dominance chart tanked, and that's when we had like a little mini altcoin season. And since then, those charts have completely flipped, where dominance has gone through the roof and the altcoins have just been buried. And we all know that things have gotten beat up, right? But I think that there's some semblance of, we found a bottom. You know, if we look at like a little bit longer time frames, like we know that we have bounced, we have gone up now for, you know, a little bit of time in succession here. So hopefully the plan is that we chop, but we range up, right? We have to have some reward for being here. It can't just be all doom and gloom like it's been since December. We have to see, because like if you look at the trend down, like we are just trending on the bottom of the trend the whole way. Like we need to be up on the top of the trend line some point, like even if we are still going down. So like I feel like getting some kind of relief in the short term is inevitable. When, I don't know, but I think, you know, the whole sell in May and walk away, we were supposed to have a good March. We didn't. We're supposed to have a good April. We didn't. Or we haven't yet. Now that could change anymore. I think we're like 30 days away from all-time highs on like most coins was what we saw in November anyway. So like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not too hopeful for April going really nuts. And one of my reasons is kind of, I guess, sort of ridiculous a little bit, is that the end of the month, there's a handful of conferences going on, and a majority of the conferences over the last couple of years, the market hasn't been great during them. There hasn't been really, there's maybe a couple things, like I think there's a Fed announcement or two that there's a little volatility, but nothing that really you saw the markets go up. And I've been in the position where I'm like, until we get to like 100K Bitcoin, I don't think things are really going to get interesting. And altcoins.
How often do we go to a conference and expect the price of something to drop? Like at ETH Denver, we were fully expecting Solana to drop. Like
you expect a conference pump during the Bitcoin conference. And I think this year, being that it's at July and that's the beginning of Q3, like when we're kind of really targeting a lot of things to start really making a momentum, forward and up, that to me, I think we might see one of the best conference pumps ever. Bitcoin in Vegas. We are that, we're getting close to that time frame away from the halving where we're supposed to just be like mega pumping. Like it's just, to me, that's a great recipe for success right there. So I think of all the conferences, what you guys said, I get it. Like, nobody's expecting anymore.
It should be Bitcoin, though. If anything, Bitcoin end of May.
This is the Bitcoin bull run. Like this literally is it. It's like countries and corporations aren't some fight for other altcoins, but really it's the Bitcoin show is what it is. This bull run. So like that's what we got to be paying attention to.
Yeah, altcoins are just over. Like
altcoin guy, but
altcoins. Like I have a significant amount of altcoins, and I will say that any little movement of Bitcoin down is just wrecking altcoins even more. I don't even know how much lower some of these could actually get, and I really hope that we see Bitcoin pump up and we get to Bitcoin conference and we get to 100K or maybe, even a new all-time high. That would be amazing. It's what we need to kind of, I feel like, get us through the summer. And then I'm hoping I just feel like we're always saying this. Then comes the fall and things are going to go nuts. But this is the part of the cycle that it should. If it doesn't, I'm not going to lose faith in crypto. It's just, things could have changed a bit. There's a lot of, big money in, and there's going to be regulations that change. There's lots of volatility because of politics. So, you never know. And now I see even, not to get on the political side, but I see Eric Trump starting to pop up as a speaker at multiple conferences. It was like, oh, hey, I'm going to be in Dubai. And then it was like, oh, by the way, I'm going to be in Toronto. And so I'm like, probably Vegas as well.
I mean, worst case scenario, Sky, you can just go for that other thing you were planning on doing, It's just, it's fine.
In which city? It's probably not allowed in at least a couple of them that were
Turkey.
That were
Rough.
So yeah, let's hope for a new all-time high by
what do you think? Speaking of Eric Trump, I was talking about this the other morning on my show, and you really got to put some thought into this. Actually, it was maybe this morning about the whole Ethereum FUD. You kind of like everybody talks about it's dead. You look at the Gwei is sub 1, right? It's like the other day it was like 0.54, and you hear all of this, right? And you think, man, oh man, I should get out of my ETH positions. And then Eric Trump posts, great time to buy ETH, right? I think like fast forward to maybe the end of this year, maybe next year when ETH's like $1 gazillion, and he can say,
retweets himself.
Told you.
Yeah, but in the short term, I don't know. I feel like
just set your long now or whatever you need to do and just see what happens.
I'll be honest, I really just don't think that a lot of the people like in politics who are tweeting stuff out like that really just know all that much or even understand to a full degree, and are probably not even getting the best info. But if you're going to be in it for a year, 5 years, 10 years,
I'm hard pressed to say that Eric Trump, whose dad has also put out a very nice tweet where somehow it just happened to be legitimately the best time to buy. I'm not. Well, I'm not saying.
But what came out right after that?
He did that interview where he said, "Listen, I'm like basically the proxy for my dad. My dad talks to me about crypto. Like he hit Trump can't really talk about it because of the
Oh,
position
no.
he's in. So like Eric is the sounding board. Eric and Don Jr. are the ones that are going to put this stuff into play that they're talking about as a family. I mean, look at
any tweet though is going to manipulate the market. You know, any tweet that comes out from the
trade war
family
is trying to like manipulate the market.
Who?
The current trade war as a whole is just manipulating the market. Like, what do you?
Yeah.
It all plays into it.
Elon does.
Okay,
the
how
same
about
thing
this?
well.
Just because of how things have currently been going, suddenly China decides that they're going to start selling off their seized crypto because now they're not able to sell all the ridiculous, stupid stuff that Americans normally wanted because no other country wants to buy those ridiculous products. So all the extra stuff that was made in their factories, all the tiny, stupid things that Americans love to buy that we can't buy anymore because it's not getting shipped out of China. Congratulations, no other country wanted them either because they're not actually great products. We just buy them en masse for some horrible reason.
Consumerism, man, because people want to buy bullshit.
Yeah, Americans are totally okay with buying something that will break in 3 weeks or less. That's totally like we have Five Below as a store, and we expect that to be like the. I'm sorry. We have Dollar General's, Five Below, and that's like the normal store where people are shopping for like Christmas gifts and stuff. And you're like, you guys gotta know this is not gonna last very long. And they're like, oh yeah, no, it's that way I know what to get them next time because it'll already be broken.
Don't buy your tools at Harbor Freight.
Oh.
Well, unless you're expected to throw them away after one use.
Are you sure about that?
Most of the time.
I've actually had some pretty good success with Harbor Freight stuff.
Yeah, I buy a lot there. I buy. That's great.
I've had mild success there.
I have watched a hammer as you swung it down and the head snapped off.
Oh God, that scares me because like one of the products that is fantastic from there is this like little 4-ounce hammer that my daughter can use. And like we take that to Home Depot for like when we build our projects and all that stuff because we got our own little tin of hammer.
I'm sure those are fine.
Never popped like just flying.
Togi's like, yeah, don't worry, those are all right. I'm sure those are fine.
Costco, man, Costco. Costco's the way to go. They got the little Stanley kit for the kids. I just picked one of those up. It's pretty awesome. I got your Christmas gift from Costco, Toki. I mean, Costco's where it's at.
That's nice.
Did you get him $1.50 hot dog for Christmas?
Yeah.
How'd you know?
It's the consistency, you know?
So hard
Was
to
that too shocking for you, Scott?
Hard to transition off of Costco hot dog unless we're like going to now start talking
Bro,
about
no, it's
meme
very
coins
easy.
and degen stuff.
Hold up. Are we talking about 99 cent? Because that is another meme coin that's right alongside of Costco. But you know what? The meme coin that I like caught my attention lately? What is it? Basis for everyone?
Like, not financial advice.
I mean, it's coming back. That's the crazy thing about it. Like, I wasn't expecting this thing to actually like have any legs at all, but
nice.
That was awesome.
He rugged himself.
He rugged himself. So now you get to see the chart without hearing action.
And I still have no idea what he was talking about. Even better.
He's talking about.
I was talking about this is the base chart. This is the big drop that everybody said they got rugged on, but we're already coming back from it. Like it went even higher. So there is a little bit of hope in there. It's just people are making money hand over fist with over each other. But I guess we got to go back to what Toki likes to talk about. So if this is the stream with Toki in it, Toki, you want to talk about China and tariffs? This is all this guy can talk about.
Right now, dude.
No,
if it didn't affect everything,
that's it. We're getting into it.
If it didn't affect everything, and if it wasn't the whole entire concept of of Call of Duty Black Ops 2, I wouldn't be so bothered. If it didn't all line up so well with that game, I wouldn't care.
Bro,
it's just strange. It's just like the Simpsons type of stuff where they're like, point out all this, in 2012, they make a video game about a scenario that's going to happen in 2025. And then it starts playing out exactly like that in 2025. It's just, obviously a coincidence. What
situation is this?
So Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is basically what's going on right now. It's the theme is where China and the United States get into this this war, but China starts banning rare earth minerals.
Mhm.
So, and that's what they're doing right now is they're choking off rare earth minerals from trying to get to the States. And then they've found more, which are used or higher concentrations or higher quality, which is used of what is it? Quartz that's used in semiconductors. And but essentially the plot of the game is sort of what's going on loosely. It's kind of funny. Well, it's
Loosely,
not loosely.
dude, it's
kind
almost
of,
to a T.
kind of-
It's literally the
almost,
intro of
yeah.
Black Ops 2, except for I don't want to say nothing bad has happened recently.
But there's enough like games out there that like they predict just about everything. I mean, remember what this one here predicted?
Yeah,
Usually games
COVID,
are-
literally, also almost to a T.
Keep saying that word on Scott's channel. Keep going. Keep going.
We did I did a conspiracy theory week once, and we had a show that was specific to that topic. And that Wednesday episode got me a 10-day ban from being able to go live on YouTube.
There you go.
It was slapped. It was called medical misinformation is what it got banned for. I was like,
I've only ever gotten hit for like dangerous and violence. That's usually what I get on my.
Well, let's not try to get any of those on mine, especially because it's just starting to feed through there. So I don't want it to get shut down before it even gets started.
You'll be
Well, I guess if
fine.
it does, that's kind of the best time to get shut down is when you just get started.
start a new one.
Yeah, because then it's like, yeah, all I have to do is reshare the new link and I get the handful of people back, maybe. You know, it's okay.
Yeah, just you
Which
gotta
reminds,
go.
you know what? If you're watching on YouTube, share it out, like and subscribe. That's cool. If not, you know, but I'd
You can get a
appreciate it.
channel going pretty quick, man. Just like act bat crazy, and people will follow.
Yeah, we see how that's worked out for people that we know, and yeah, I'm not going to go that route.
You've already had your triactin. I get it.
Yeah, actually, loves porn.
Tough acting, man.
Anyone tuning in is like, "What is this? This is just a bunch of people laughing at each other." It's all right. There was some. I'll have to like time tag the actual parts that is useful as far as market knowledge, but the rest is pure comedy.
Yeah. You know what's good? I don't know if you do this or not, but what I love about StreamYard is you can download the transcript. You can feed that into your chat GPT and you can have it change your title, your description, and your timestamps. So you don't have to do it. You just say like, hey, here's my show. Can you give me my description, my updated title, and my timestamps based on an hour and 20-minute show, whatever. And it goes, beep, boop, boop, boop. Here you go.
Look
Wait,
at that.
how does it work?
It could do that.
Sure,
whenever it wants. I would prefer it does that.
Did you set up to like record individually here as well? Because we can clip that so well. Boop, 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 boop.
I'd prefer that to make the sound. If it did that, I'd be like, all right, it's done. But no, I need to utilize more of that, to be honest. Starting to, get the feel of behind in the YouTube studio. And, X has just kind of been the default bubble for me for a bit outside of watching some on YouTube. I'm like, all right, finally we'll push some stream that way. Why not?
Now, Scott, do you remember what we talked about earlier in the AI space?
I don't know. That was like
Lazy inputs get lazy outputs. Okay, so make sure you do it right. Make sure you communicate thoroughly that you get the desired output.
I know. I'm just gonna ask ChatGPT to be like, hey, take this, what I'm telling you, and make it unlazy, and add context to it, and then I'm gonna take that, and then I'm gonna use that prompt. I mean, in theory, right?
Good move.
And then I could be like, draw from these sources, and then just tag people that are really in detail about stuff.
Unlazy my lazy, please.
Yeah. No. See, I gotta get more up to speed with it. With that.
I feel
No,
like-
but that's awesome that it could do that, because the timestamp thing, that's I didn't realize. Just load in the transcript and pulls all the info out like that.
It's a time saver for you, so you don't have to go through. You don't have to watch your own show just to pull timestamp, because those are very important for the viewers, man. And that if that saves you an hour of having to watch your own show just for timestamps.
I mean, Scott does like to listen to himself talk, so
No,
there
that's
is
the
that.
last thing I do. Is I do not like watching my own videos. That's why I love live streaming. Just like, all right, we just do our thing, and then it's over. But if I do video of myself and then I have to sit there and like I'm editing it, I'm like, you know, you're your harshest critic. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
For most people, at least I am. So, yeah. So I don't like editing my own videos. I'm hearing myself, but
there is that joy and that satisfaction, like when you go through and you record something, and even if you had to take a couple like pauses and get back into it, and you chop those out, and then you see the finished product where you got like your jump cuts and your overlays and all your stuff. When you see that final product, you're like, hell yeah. For someone who's not, I'm not an editor, but I do edit all my own stuff. Like even sometimes I'm like, all right, that's cool. Like I know it's not awesome, but you know, for someone who can't do
it is awesome. It is awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, you've been killing it. And so recently you've gone on your own. You're 100% doing your own thing, your own studio, like taking care of your stuff, and been killing it.
Thanks,
so
man.
it's awesome, man. You've been streaming a couple times a day. You got like the morning. Don't you have the morning show? Don't you in the afternoon as well, right?
Yeah. So we got the morning show. I do the morning show. That's the Web3 breakfast. That's my community connection, right? Like that's how I can stay connected to the people that are in the group. I started doing that show in the bear market, like way back. And just to kind of just stay connected with everybody in the morning. It's nothing too serious, just like a way to just hang out with the DGens in the morning. And then we do that at 9 a.m. Eastern. And then at 4 p.m. Eastern, I do my J-Chain show. And that's my news and numbers, going through charts, looking at trades, potentially all that kind of stuff. So a little bit, you know, one is for fun and hanging out with the community at and we do some important stuff on there sometimes, but it's really more just to connect and have a good laugh to start your day. Because it's at 9 a.m. Eastern is 6 a.m. on the West. And we get a bunch of people on the West Coast and like people really aren't really in the mood to learn important shit at 6 a.m. So it's
the community is a huge part of it. And having a good circle, having a good community, sharing info or sharing the alpha, like, you know, that's like I feel the base of crypto for me is that everything kind of stems from community and all the stuff that I'm in. Like, sure, I'm investing, but a lot of that info and knowledge, sure, I've done my own research, but I've gotten tipped off or was led a certain way because of other people that I've met or that I've talked to. And I think that's really important, you know, connect with them, hang out. And I always say, like, if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. Like, this is supposed to be, I don't know, for me, this is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be challenging, you know, at times, whether you're working on, you know, let's say with a project or just depending, like there's so many great things that I feel. And if you're here just like bummed out, like it's not the place for you, you know, like you need to get used to watching charts move in all sorts of ways. You need to have your plan. Like if you can't stomach it, like that's it. Like if you keep it moving.
You can't handle those 10% dips. You can't handle those 30% rips, baby.
I will say though, from what was our all-time high in Bitcoin? 100, it was 108?
108, yeah.
And we went down to 74.5.
Fuck her up, Buttercup.
Yeah.
I thought we went lower than that.
Yeah, there's like a couple situations. Now, I don't want to scare anybody, but like doomsday stuff, if you pull like a Bitcoin chart and you look at like zoom it out, there are some weird things like on the all-time chart, like you could pull an uptrend on the low side of it, like 35 still doesn't break structure. You can also look at it on the 6-month chart, and we've had some very clear 2 candles side by side on 6 months, so a year of negative activity, right? The first time it was 75% down. That was in 2021, I believe. The second time in 2022 or 2023, I'd have to take a look at the chart. It was a 65% drop. And so now we're in the first of our 6 months. And if we go on this, like the law of, you know, the diminishing, whatever, the ratio cutback or whatever. So 75, 65, let's go with 55. That puts us at 42.
Yay.
Hey, but at the end of the day, we've all been here. It's not a, you know, unless you're leverage trading, that's a great opportunity to get some cheap Bitcoin.
Oh no,
it's going to happen, but damn, that would be crazy.
Yeah, no, it would definitely be. I'd be loading up, but the irony is that majority of us, just because, you know, if you're holding Bitcoin, you're usually not trading it. I feel that most of the people I know are DCAing or accumulating, and they don't necessarily want to sell off their Bitcoin. They might do some stuff with their alts first. So in some of these situations, it's like you see yourself like round tripping some of these. I don't want to say round, but you're going up. You're like, oh, nice 108, and then you're like, oh, 70, and you're like, wait, that's it. But you know, like
we know where it's going.
Exactly. So I could, risk it for a little bit of profit now and hope that it didn't do the opposite and just continue to go up and then be, end up with less Bitcoin, or I could just ride through some of this. And at least with Bitcoin, I tend to do that. I mean, I won't lie though. I mean, I'm sure you guys as well are pretty impatient. Like right now, it's like, could we come? What's this go parabolic? Everyone, we're gonna go parabolic. Like, please, can we just go parabolic already? And then we could just talk about that in the past, that we went parabolic and we took profits, and we're gearing up for what the next thing.
I want to have
just
money
waiting.
again. I don't want to be poor.
I feel like I put, like when I say I put everything into crypto that I can't afford to lose, right? Like I guess I can afford to lose it, but man, I put a real thin line there of balancing the day-to-day budget or the monthly budget with what I'm DCAing in. I'm like,
oh, dude. Back in November when things were rolling, it's just like, honey, we're gonna keep everything in crypto because this shit it's pumping. This is the move. Just let me know what we need and when we need it, and I'll slide it over. And then now it's like, oh, honey, we should have taken it all out.
Everyone hates hindsight.
Except you're also trying to be like, oh, honey, don't look at this right now. Don't look at this right now.
Like,
oh, honey, I know you said you wanted to use those, but we're gonna hold off for a little bit. I think we should. Quarter three is so nice.
For some extra content, I could go to deliver pizzas and
yeah, I'll deliver pizzas for Doge.
Yeah.
I will say that over the last year with some of the alts getting pretty low, the one thing that I'm glad I didn't do, my mom was about to crack and buy some crypto or be like, hey, I'm going to put some money in, what's something, because I feel like, we're another year in the cycle, say, this is the best time, not drag her through all the pain that I've been through, right? But there's something telling me that this could be like playing with fire. When you don't want to do business with family and other things, because if something goes a little sideways, you're going to get wrecked by that. And I'm glad I didn't, because some alts continue to go down just with some of this Bitcoin movement. I think, though, we might have gotten to a bottom, and maybe I'll revisit the conversation. But just knowing that the last 6 months would have been rough. I would have been getting calls every day.
Well, 6 to 8 months, we'll be laughing at the prices we're at right now. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or crying.
I feel like I said that. I feel like I said that though 6 to 8 months.
No, I'm dead serious. There's gonna be there's always tears, man. People don't make the moves. You're like, I wish I had done this. You know what I mean? Happens every cycle.
Hard to argue.
Yeah.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Well, I just DCA in as I can, and there'll come a time where I feel that since this is the fastest growing asset class, that it'll start to slow down a little bit in that. And at least for us being in early, we would have made, the majority of the larger percentage of those gains in the shorter term, of that plan. And, but now Action, because I wasn't expecting you. And usually when we're streaming, you were always talking about DePIN and RWA and things. So I want to actually flip that to you, J Chains, because I know this is something that I've seen you tweet about some RWA plays. And how are you feeling about the market in that sentiment? Do you feel like that's going to be our real next mover?
I do. I think, when you look at all the different verticals within the ecosystem, you got to think, what are the hottest narratives? What are going to be the biggest ones that are coming up, especially as we get into this next phase of the cycle? And as we know that we're shifting the global ecosystem into blockchain and crypto, I think the narrative that best supports that makes the most sense. And so the RWA DePIN narrative, so Ondo, Plume,
Mantra.
Yeah, all no. I don't know. Wait, what did you say there?
I said Mantra, the one that dropped 90% in 1 hour.
Yeah, no.
And then you went, yeah, and I was like,
I just
not that one. Not that one. He didn't mean
Morpho is the one that I just picked up a bunch of Morpho. That thing is, I think that's a DePIN RWA play that really it was up there not too long ago and had a pretty rough go over the last couple months. And so I think I picked that thing up at like 82 cents or something, like 85 cents, somewhere around there. And it's like almost 90 cents today. I got it last night. I think like that's a great play for that ecosystem. And yeah, I just, again, you play the narratives of what's the most important thing, like gaming. I know a lot of people like gaming, but right now that's not the move. I think earlier we had it. I've talked to some people who are in development, who are building. Their key metrics are 2028, right? So I think that's when we'll see. And what was the game? It was it OTG that say they came out and spent like 25 million in development, right? So for that to be kind of like the metric, because that was the big game that everybody fell in love with, I think a lot of games had to go back to the drawing board, because like if you weren't comparable to that, if you didn't have the look and feel, or if you couldn't, at least be at that level or higher, what's the point? And so a lot of people had to go back to recreate something. So gaming is on a pause, at least as narrative wise, because they've got to go back and restructure. Music and NFTs, that'll never be a thing.
We got to clip
No
that.
need for an explanation.
No, all right, but OTG, dude, like the problem with those guys is that they made it so nice, so wonderful that it's barely playable by the average consumer. Like the thing just lags in no end. It's just a pain in the butt to actually play. So I agree with you that people are going back to the drawing board, but at the same time, like focus on gameplay. Don't focus on like, oh, we're gonna have the best graphics out there, and you're not gonna be able to play it, even if you have a high-end graphics card. It's just gonna be laggy and sucky all the way through.
Do you think? Okay, so one of the things that a lot of people talk, and this was a narrative like maybe a couple of years ago, was that whole cloud computing, storage, that kind of thing, right? Like Filecoin and what they could do. And that's why, the whole idea of the sandbox was going to be great, because it didn't matter about the file sizes, because as long as we could like decentrally like grab, all this computing power, it's okay. These big file sizes work. I think because that scares the snot out of people. Mostly it's like, wait, what? You're gonna have people in my computer using my computing power? Like, nah, that's my computer, man. I don't want anybody in there. I don't think people understand exactly what that is yet. So as crypto and blockchain roll out and we start to like have more understanding, and then people get like, oh, so you're not really like in my computer. I get it. Then that narrative will maybe pick back up and take off. It's gonna be stages how this thing's layered out, I believe. And yeah, I think the RWA and DePIN narrative makes the most sense, because we're trying to change the entire financial ecosystem, going back to, I guess, the original question.
Have you heard of Tashi protocol?
I think I don't know.
He's like, are you going to bait me into something?
No, this isn't a bait or anything. Like, this is a legitimate question. Tashi protocol, basically created by Ken Anderson, one of the founding members of Hedera. Absolutely amazing, bringing a legitimate change to gaming as a whole, because of the consensus protocol that he has built. I think that while you may not have as much hopes for gaming in the near future, I think as more companies are willing to adopt what Tashi is doing, we could see a real uptick in regards to the gaming sphere and what we're talking about.
You got to think, like, when you think about gaming, though, look at GTA, whatever number that we've been waiting for 10 years, right? Like, gaming takes a long time. So, in theory, 2028 is only 3 years from now. That's really not that long.
I mean it in the sense of, like, we're seeing a massive resurgence of indie gaming as a whole. Yeah. So, like, I'm excited, because I know that some of them are taking the blockchain opportunities just to build on top of it, because I know, like, the one guy, he was explaining, I worked on Rust for so long. Now I've heard that Solana is something where I can just build a quick app, and I'm just going to build a game on there real quick, and then I'm just going to release it. Like, sure, all my backend's on Solana, but like the game is done. I don't have to worry about it then. And now I can just have all my data verified. I'm not worried about like anyone that I'd be sending off to. It only takes like maybe 3 people for everything to get like it all skinned up, all the submission done for the app itself. Like, that's what's happening. These small indie developers are coming in and they're doing it in a very fast pace. And I think the more that are willing to work on like a good consensus protocol for the bigger names or the bigger projects they want to work on, the better. And I think you're right. 2028 is not that far away. So that does give us a nice, good, I'd say maybe like lead time into what could be a really, really profitable and actually enjoyable gaming experience without anyone ever calling it Web3 gaming again.
I see that being at least 2028 or and beyond, like at least 3 years from now, I think, before it gets, to be honest, in my opinion, to a level where I'm back playing games again. Like I play first person shooters. I think we're still like a few years out in Web3 gaming from something that's going to be kind of on the speed, graphics, gameplay wise, with all the Web3 bells and whistles. I know it's coming. I'm just not in on the early end, like going to go through all the pain of getting there. I'm just like, all right, I know it's coming a few years down the line, more than likely something that's going to line up, and I'm ready to support it. So I appreciate everyone that's working and is going to continue to work, because there's a lot that needs to be built, and to come
you guys
up
are
with
adorable. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love gaming more than the next guy, but like, I'm interested in the picks and shovels in this whole thing. Like, ultimately, if you're gonna have decentralized gaming whatsoever, even with Tashi, dude, like the DePIN play here is huge. They're gonna leverage Aether networks and like all these different DePIN infrastructure is already out there. So while people are worried about what game is gonna succeed, I'm just focusing on the decentralized infrastructure aspect of it, so I can win regardless of who wins. I'm already on the winning side of things. That's the way I look at it.
That's true. You get in on that side, and you're making your money on the networks, and the networks are essentially or the chains are essentially supporting multiple games. It's not just like, hey, there's there could be an infinite amount of games on
There's two things this cycle that have been like keeping me afloat. Oh, nice secret
hopes
network
and
shirt.
dreams. That's
thank you.
keeping me influenced.
I mean, yeah, that's what I tell my wife.
Because hopes and dreams.
It's like DePIN infrastructure, right? Like it's nodes that I deploy that are actually paying me, quote unquote, passively over time. But secondly, my chickens, because egg prices were doing all right.
What kind of chickens do you have?
Dude, I got 22 right now. I had 25, but stupid coyotes. I mean, I have for everything from Rhode Island Reds to Americanas. Like I got a gamut of them. Yeah.
We had bearded silkies for a while when we lived in Texas.
Oh, those are cool.
I had a bearded silkie. His name was Torvald. Sadly, he passed away.
What it tastes like?
He didn't know. No, I'm talking like this is the chicken where I went and bought a leash for him because I wanted to see if I could walk him.
Hey, don't play. If he stopped walking and you kept walking, would that choke him?
No, because it was the vested one, so it was okay.
Oh, it's like a harness.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Because last thing you want to do is
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you put your chicken in a harness.
Yeah.
And walked him around.
I tried to.
All right.
Not successful.
That's one thing I haven't done.
I mean, if you're gonna have a bunch of chickens, like he was a rescue because someone at the time like did not know how to take care of chickens, and I was like, you can't have a chicken like that. Like I understand that you love
They're
it,
dinosaurs. It's very hard to not know how to take care of them. I will say that though.
Don't they just eat anything?
They were keeping it inside.
a chicken inside.
Yeah, like all the
that's
time.
probably a lot of poop everywhere, man.
I don't know. A friend of mine growing up, every time I went to his house, there was a chicken in a cardboard box, just like running around. I don't know if like they
didn't know it was a
getting
rooster
replaced.
at first, dude.
Maybe they were killing them. And
Toki, in your example, were they free range indoor chickens, or is it like in a little cage?
Free range
indoor
chicken.
Yeah, they had access to the second floor. They do whatever they want.
I'm fighting. I'm like, I got this struggle. The other day, I was helping AJ move out of his apartment, and I brought home like this little turtle the size of like $0.25. And at this point, I brought it home just for my daughter to see it because it was like in the middle of a parking lot, like this thing was going to die. So I brought it home to do this stuff. But now we've got like a little habitat for it, and he's got a name, Cucumber. And usually, by the time you get a name, ain't no going back.
Try not to take any pictures of it. Try not to show it online too much, just in case. You should get some verification of its markings.
We asked ChatGPT because I do understand, like, if you pick up like a rare turtle, you could get yourself in big trouble. So it's like the most common. It's like a red ear, whatever, something. They're very common.
Nice. Cool experience for the kiddo, at least.
All right, Mr. J Chains, would you be willing to get back in a pit against McFarlane?
Would I?
Yeah.
I think so. I would want some more training. I feel like now that I have more fight IQ, I would do better. I'm in better shape, so I could last longer. I don't think he was very technical. He was taller. He had a better reach, but
That was it.
That was it.
better fight IQ.
Yeah.
I would just be more explosive and just go in and take him down. Because like when I had him on the wall of the pit, the first round, at the end of it, like that to me, the fight IQ was you either finish him, you waste him, you put him out and make the judge or the ref call it, or you don't go through that energy because you can't recover. Like if you spend it all right there, you ain't coming back from that. And I never could. That was my problem. And so better fight IQ, just a better fight plan. Yeah, I could probably kick his ass.
Nice.
I like it.
Yeah. So, as we're getting close to the end here, I want to make sure that you tell everyone where they could find you. I put the link in the chat here on YouTube, but obviously, people are watching on Genzio here on Twitter or X. But where could everybody find you? I want to make sure that they subscribe, they're following you on YouTube, they're supporting you. And give us the
Well, I appreciate it. First off, I appreciate you guys having me on here. This has been fun. Like we said in the beginning of the show, getting to know you guys over the last year and some change has been absolutely great. So thank you. Make sure you guys smash the like on this video. So down below, right?
Yeah, I'll put it in the description. I could add to it, I guess.
Cool. So JChains X is my X handle. You can find pretty much everything you need to there. Link in bio. You get my YouTube channel, everything else that's important. And I'll tell you what, man, the YouTube channel is great. That's just, I got one of the vanity names on that. So that's just, I believe it's just at JChains. So you can find me there 9 a.m. Monday through Friday and 4 p.m. both times Eastern. That's when I do my shows. And then we're trying to filter some stuff in between, hopefully doing some more collabs. Maybe we'll do something with each one of you guys as well very soon here.
Awesome. Yeah, no, awesome. Yeah, no, definitely everyone should follow you. So, what? Toki just laughed this ass.
I think it's awesome 6 times in a row.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry.
I was like, it was awesome.
Can't help it. No, I'm stoked. There we go. Thank you, actually, for pulling this up. No, it's I can't wait to link up at the next event. I think that you said that you might not be doing Dubai, but I'm sure you're gonna be at Bitcoin, right?
Yeah. So the goal is right now, my plan is to do Futurist and Consensus Week in Toronto, and then Bitcoin in I always want to say, it's so funny. I was doing an interview with somebody, and it was with Victoria Fuller of the Rogue Bunnies, and I kept referencing, even though I was talking about Vegas, I kept saying Nashville. It's like, it was such a good time last year. And usually the whole thing was, the Bitcoin conference was in Miami for several years. So it had a home. So in my mind, I thought they had signed a 3-year deal in Nashville. So I committed it to my brain, but no, Vegas, baby, let's go. That's going to be fun. Vegas is going to be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. And we'll see you at Futurist as well in Toronto. We're gonna have a nice presence there as far as Genzio goes. So always a good time.
I got a chance to last year. I did in a Blonde Broker and we did a little one-on-one where we got to chat. And I think that was powered by you guys for sure.
Nice. Yeah. Busy month coming up.
I love how that Toki and Scott's got a little awkward. It's awkward, JChains, because Blonde Broker is not working with Genzio anymore. You just can say it out loud. Yeah.
It was awkward for me.
Whatever.
It's one of those things. All of us are always around the space anyway, so it doesn't really change much. You're pointing the wrong place. There you go.
Perfect.
Not awkward for me.
He did it way quicker than I did on that one. All right.
Yeah, he did. But that's gonna be May 13th. That means that we have a week, Scott, to rest if we want to head out to Toronto. Are we making that happen?
Possibly. I mean, it's rough. There's a week. It's a week or 10 days. Then there's Toronto, and then there's.
So I'll see you there.
Yeah. Then there's probably about another week or 10 days, and then there's Vegas.
Yeah, they're back to back.
Yeah.
Everything's.
You'd have to leave one for the other.
And then there's Balkans, right, Toki, that you're going to?
Yeah, right. I'm going to be going to Albania. It's going to be crazy. There's the Balkans conference, actually fairly cool. It's for, I'll put it nicely in the sense of this is for everyone who can't make it out to the Bitcoin conference in Las Vegas. It's a great opportunity. It's out in Tirana. If you've never been to Albania, everyone dresses like in their Sunday best all the time, even if they're going out to get coffee together. It's actually a beautiful country.
For clarification's sake, I just want to make sure I heard you correct. If you can't make Vegas,
go to Albania.
You should go to Albania. Okay. I just
for the people that live near Albania that are close, that are watching right now.
I mean, quite frankly, if you're in the EU, Vegas might not be like the quickest trip in the world.
Some dude sitting in Palm Springs right now thinking like, yeah, man, you know what? I'm in Vegas. I'm going to Albania.
You know? Technically, it's a few days. I think it's like a day after.
Oh, so you could double dip. You could
if you can catch the right flight. Actually, I think
that's what you're doing, right, Toki? You're gonna double dip.
I think I might actually be doing that.
And then you're going to Albania.
Yeah. And I think there's actually another speaker that I saw on the list because I think I'll have to confirm this, but I think they're trying to speak at the Bitcoin conference and then catch a flight to go speak at the Balkan conference. So,
are you talking about me?
I mean, you want a speaking role? Actually, Zach might. I think Zach actually will be trying to do that as well. Now that I mention it,
that's wild.
I think Zach is trying or has already gotten a speaking spot for a Bitcoin conference, and then I know he'll have one at the Balkan conference as well.
So we all go to these conferences. I really want to get JChain's take on this. Like, do you think conferences are worthwhile going to? Is that something that you think people should be showing up, at if they're in crypto?
Oh my gosh, that's the most important thing.
Hey, what's up?
But it's not something Gen Z is afraid of.
If you want to survive, you got to build a hive.
No, we do not understand.
Ladies and gentlemen,
We're back at the Gen Z Media House.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us today.
I didn't